You have lived every second of your life. But you cannot remember the beginning. Someone held you for the first time. Someone made you laugh. Someone watched you take your first step. Thousands of moments happened before your third birthday. Almost all of them are gone. Not blurry, not hidden. Gone. If your first years shaped the person you became, why can't you remember living them? Where did those memories go? Were they erased? Or were they never really there at all? For more than a century, psychologists have called this mystery childhood amnesia. Almost every healthy adult experiences it. Ask someone for their earliest memory. Most people describe something that happened between the ages of 3 and 4. Some remember a birthday. Others remember a pet. A few remember getting lost in a supermarket. Very few remember anything before turning 2. That isn't normal forgetting. It's a cliff. Your memory suddenly disappears as you look further back. Yet babies clearly learn. A newborn recognizes its mother's voice within hours after birth. Researchers have even shown that babies recognize stories repeatedly read to them during pregnancy. Long before they can speak, they are already learning. So memory exists. But something strange happens later. Imagine buying a camera that records everything perfectly. Then imagine discovering that the first thousands of photographs cannot be opened. The pictures existed, the moments happened. But something changed. For decades, scientists believed babies simply could not form long-term memories. The brain was considered too immature. The evidence seemed convincing. Young children forgot events far more quickly than adults. The mystery appeared solved. Then neuroscience complicated everything. Modern experiments revealed that infants can remember people, places, and experiences, sometimes for weeks, sometimes even months. So the problem isn't creating memories. The problem is keeping them. That realization changed everything. Deep inside your brain sits a curved structure called the hippocampus. It is only about the size of your thumb. Yet without it, you cannot build lasting memories. In 1957, neuroscientists studied a patient known as Henry Molaison. After surgery damaged his hippocampus, he could no longer form new episodic memories. Every day felt like waking into a world he had already forgotten. His case transformed neuroscience forever. It revealed that memory isn't stored where it begins. The hippocampus acts more like a librarian than a warehouse. It organizes experiences. It labels them. Then it helps distribute them across the brain for long-term storage. But during infancy, that librarian is still under construction. The shelves keep moving. The filing system keeps changing. Every month, the brain rewires itself at astonishing speed. Billions of neural connections appear. Millions disappear. Entire networks reorganize themselves. The infant brain isn't a finished computer. It's a construction site operating 24 hours a day. How do you preserve memories while rebuilding the building that stores them? That question has fascinated scientists for decades. One of the biggest clues came from studying mice. In 2014, researchers led by Paul Frankland at the University of Toronto discovered something unexpected. Young mice forgot experiences surprisingly quickly. Older mice remembered them much longer. The difference wasn't intelligence. It was neurogenesis, the birth of new neurons. Baby brains create enormous numbers of fresh brain cells. That's wonderful for learning, but it comes with a cost. Imagine writing your life story inside a notebook. Now imagine someone constantly replacing random pages with blank paper. The story becomes harder to read. According to Frankland's research, rapid neurogenesis may actually disrupt older memory circuits. In other words, the very process that helps babies learn faster may also erase earlier memories. Growing smarter may require becoming more forgetful. It sounds backwards, yet biology often works that way. But that still leaves another mystery. If those memories disappear, why do our earliest experiences matter so much? Because memory isn't just one thing. There are different kinds. When people think about memory, they usually imagine episodes. Your first bicycle, your graduation, your favorite vacation. Scientists call these episodic memories. They allow you to mentally travel through time. But another system works quietly underneath. Procedural memory teaches you skills. Emotional memory teaches you fear, comfort, and trust. Implicit memory shapes habits without asking permission. You don't remember learning your native language. Yet somehow, you speak it. You don't remember learning how to recognize your parents. Yet your brain mastered it effortlessly. The experiences disappeared from conscious recall. The lessons remained. That's one reason childhood is so powerful. You may not remember your first years, but your brain does. Every smile, every frightening sound, every comforting hug, every repeated routine, they quietly shape the architecture of the mind you use today. Could your personality begin before your first memory? Many psychologists believe the answer is yes. Early attachment, stress, safety, and affection influence emotional development long before autobiographical memory fully appears. In other words, experiences you cannot remember may still influence decisions you make decades later. That sounds unsettling, but it also explains something beautiful. Love leaves traces even after memories disappear. Then another puzzle appears. Why do a few people claim to remember being 1 year old? Some even describe being babies. Could they be exceptions? Sometimes, but often, something else is happening. Memory is surprisingly easy to edit. Psychologist Elizabeth Loftus spent decades demonstrating how false memories can be created. With enough suggestion, people sometimes become confident they experienced events that never happened. The brain doesn't replay the past. It reconstructs it. Each recall is a new version. Every remembered moment changes slightly. Your earliest memory may not be an untouched recording. It may be a reconstruction built from family stories, photographs, and imagination. Even adulthood memories change every time you remember them. So perhaps the better question isn't why we forget childhood. Perhaps it's why we trust memory at all. And yet, sometimes a smell stops you in your tracks. Fresh crayons, a certain shampoo, rain on warm pavement. Suddenly, something ancient stirs inside you. You cannot describe it. You cannot place it. But it feels familiar. Neuroscientists believe smells connect unusually closely to brain regions involved in emotion and memory. That may explain why forgotten feelings can return before forgotten images do. Emotion often survives where detail disappears. Your first years were never empty. They were simply written in a language your adult mind can no longer read. Maybe that's exactly how evolution intended it. A brain focused on learning cannot afford to become trapped inside yesterday. It must constantly rewrite itself, constantly adapt, constantly make room for the future. That means forgetting isn't a flaw. It's part of growing. Every memory you kept required thousands of others to disappear. Every lesson came with a hidden sacrifice. The child you once were didn't vanish. He became the foundation beneath every thought you have today. You cannot remember meeting him. You cannot ask him questions. You cannot visit his world. But every choice you make still echoes with his influence. Your earliest years were never truly lost. They were transformed into you. Some of the most important moments of your life are the ones you'll never remember. If you enjoy exploring the hidden stories behind being human, subscribe and I'll see you in the next mystery.